An Indian Air Force fighter jet, a Mig-21, crashed in the fields in Kashmir's Budgam district earlier today. The aircraft had taken off from the Srinagar airport. It was on a routine training sortie. Fortunately, no loss of life was reported either in the aircraft or on ground. The pilot and the co-pilot both ejected safely. The aircraft crashed into the paddy fields in Budgam's Soibag. An army helicopter retrieved them from the crash site. This is the 11th fighter jet crash since January 2015, indicating a sharp rise in such incidents. A court of inquiry has been ordered to know the reason for this aircraft crash.
We're right now in Soibag area of central Kashmir, and as you can see, this is the spot where just minutes back this Mig-21 aircraft of the Indian Air Force has crash landed. What we are learning is that the pilot who was in fact this aircraft has bailed out. He ejected and has been taken to the hospital. Is safe, but this is the crash that has happened very next to the civilian population here. Thankfully, no casualties have been incurred on the civilian population, but this seems to be a major incident that could have proven disastrous if this aircraft would have crashed into the civilian population. As of now, the authorities are suggesting that they are investigating into the matter. They are figuring out what exactly led to this crash. But the defense spokespersons have said that this was an aircraft here which had taken off from the airbase in Srinagar and was on a routine training sortie when it crash landed here. Inquiries will establish what was the reason of this crash. But yes, a major disaster has happened here. Thankfully, this aircraft didn't land into the civilian population or civilian areas, which could have been very difficult to handle for the authorities here. But as of now, a lot of people have gathered here, and that is becoming a problem for the security agencies to keep the people away from this particular crash site. With cameraman Tariq Loan, Shujaul Haq in Soibag for India Today.
And Air Marshal A.K. Singh is former Air Officer Commanding-in-Chief, Western Air Command. Air Marshal Singh, this was your area of operation. What would you make of this crash, sir?
Since it is as the spokesperson told you, it was a routine training mission. And these kind of training missions happen by and large. The reasons for an accident can't be established instantaneously. It takes a bit of a time to find out. You first rule out it was not a technical malfunction, because technical malfunctions are by and large the biggest reason for any air crash that takes place, and then equally big is the pilot error which happens. But in this particular case, it is one of the modern aeroplanes, which is a Mig-21 Bison, which is updated and upgraded a large number of times. So it is not old technology which is to blame. But here I would say that one of the things that your reporter was talking about was it was a lucky. It is not luck. Actually, most of us, when we are flying and we are trained in the trade of fighter flying, are told that you must keep your wits with you.
Yes.
Situational awareness is a must for each and every pilot. And when he realizes that the aircraft is going to crash, at times there have been certain pilots who have lost their own lives trying to save the civil population on the ground. And in this case also, I am very proud of the fact that the pilot has managed to steer the aeroplane away from the populated and areas where there were a large number of people and would have resulted in large number of casualties. In 2 to 3 days.
In a situation like this, should we actually still be flying the Mig-21s, considering these aircraft should have been in our inventory since the 1960s? They were meant to be out in the early 2000s. Or are the Mig-21 Bisons here to stay till perhaps the LCA replaces them?
You see, LCA is also, you see, at the moment till and when will LCA replace them? But the numbers have to continue. And this aircraft, as I was telling you, has been upgraded. So it is not such an old, the machine of course, the airframe of course is an old machine which you said It certainly may not be of 60s, it must have been of 70s or even 80s, because till then the Mig-21 Bison was being manufactured by us. So it is not such an old machine, but you are absolutely correct and on the ball when you say that, do we have to wait? We'll have to wait and see which aircraft India goes to purchase. We are already, Prime Minister was kind enough to have gone to France and made a deal, which is stuck for some other reasons, as I read in the newspapers.
Right.
So we may see what the Prime Minister does when he has further negotiations or further talks with other countries which are manufacturing modern aeroplanes.
Air Marshal A.K. Singh, for the moment, many thanks for joining me here on the broadcast.